y'all, we're back. This is Quante Reed. This is your host of Godly Vibes and Blessings. And I don't know if you have caught up with everything that's going on. It's a lot of things that's going on in this world, and we are having to continue to, spread like we're having to continue to keep our heads up high and trust God. Trusting God is not always easy. Trusting God is scary sometimes, and we have to lean into him when we do that. When we feel like we can't do, and we feel like we can't go on, we can't move forward, we feel like we're getting crushed by the world, we have to know that he'll be the one to pick it up. He'll pick us up, and he will continue to guide us on the right place, on the right path, to fulfill a moment, a second, or just experience of peace. And I know for me, I have been studying the scripture, um talking about peace, and that the one who keeps their mind on him, he will give perfect peace. And that means that if you're steadfast, you're staying on top of it, you're continually and consistently giving him your time, so you can actually connect with him, so you can trust him. Because if you trust him, you'll learn to depend on him, and you'll learn to focus on him, and you won't run to the roller way of addressing things or even processing things. You will run to him, and he will help you process it. He will help you get through whatever situation you're going through. And I know for me, I'm having to address that in my life. Like, how am I going to face these Goliaths? How am I going to let him give me that weapon that's needed to shoot it, to kill it, to destroy it, to get it out my way? Because for me, I know it's a path that he's calling me to, and I cannot get on that path, or I cannot continue to walk on that path without being guided by his light. If we're walking on a pathway, you cannot go on the pathway and not be afraid of darkness if you don't have the light with you. If that makes sense. Does that makes sense? Okay, cool. So what I'm trying to say is, like, we can't, like, focus on the path itself without letting the light guide us to the point. That's what we're focusing on. You're just supposed to be looking at the light. If we're in a dark place and you have a light flashlight, you're going to look wherever the light shines, right? You focus on whatever God is shining that light on. You focus on who he's calling you to speak to. You focus on how he's calling you to speak to them. It may be through your art, it may be through a book, it may be through your ability to act, it may be through your ability to just simply walk up to someone and give them a hug, or walk up to them in the restaurant or store and just minister to them. Like, your ability to spread light is based on how you lock in with God. It's based on how you let him connect with you and lead and guide you in those paths that's needed to draw people in. Now, we are made to do this. We're made to carry the torch. We're made to start fires, little fires everywhere. And I actually have an art piece I need to share. I need to sometimes share my art pieces, because sometimes I talk about stuff that's actually, you know, things I have actually created and God has shown me in different ways. But I have a painting, or I think I did it with watercolor, and it's called Little Fires. Like, we have to start little fires, although we can't start them physically in real life. So don't do that. Don't start real fires. But spiritual, in the spirit realm, we have to start fires. We have to. That's the only way we're going to give people more light. That's the only way we're going to call people that's lost into a place of peace and reassurance that God is for them. That's how we're going to do it, y'all. That's how we're going to do it. That's all I know. That's all I know that I have to do. Thankfully, I haven't been charged with other things that people have to do, because yeah, I'm good where I'm at. I'm good where I'm at with spreading light. I was talking to Jazz earlier today, and I was like, sometimes he connect us to our purpose through things we've been doing a little bit over time when we are kids. Like, for me, creating, painting, just being artsy, and just creating things with my hands has been my thing my whole life. Like, that's who I am. I can create things. I turn things to nothings to somethings. Like, that's just my gift that I have. And not everybody has that gift, right? And sometimes our gifts that we have, he uses in the most particular way, where you may be using it in a way that you would have never thought you would use it. Like, I would have never thought that I would be creating to actually bring them to a place of light, where I'm exposing them to light, where I'm sharing something with them. Because I got something for y'all. Y'all don't even know what I'm talking about, but I'll be releasing it soon. But being able to share that information with them, being able to show them creativity on that level or in a different way like that, or even providing things through different arenas where people are not used to seeing someone of light in. Like he has called us in that way, and I think it's so beautiful because I would have never known. I thought I was just doing those things for fun, for as a hobby. But he has everything is intertwined with one another. Like he uses everything for his good, for our good, right? And even the things that people have went through, the hardest things, he's using it for your good. So don't forever forget that. Okay, you feel like you're going through this, you're going through things that are so hard for no reason. He's building you. He's putting you in these certain seasons, in these certain moments in your life to build you. You have to like have the capacity to hold and to withstand the things that he's trying to bless us with. And you can't do that without actually walking through some of these hurdles you're having to walk through. For us, I know even in our business, we've had moments where our clients weren't able to pay or pay on time. And so it made our things delayed because we got bills just like they got bills. You understand? Like we were tripping and like trying to run around, like trying to figure out what to do. But the Lord was like, He has it under control. And I'm not sure how we even got here, but yeah, He has it under control. We have to trust Him in that process. And sometimes it's us doing the little things that we feel like are not worthy or are not financially um convenient for us to do, to receive from, or to even to give out, that make a difference in us actually getting that blessing or actually getting that prayer answer that we've been praying for. So even like I said, when our clients were behind on things, like we trusted God. We didn't halfway give them anything. Because the one thing He wants us to do is serve His people. And we know for a fact we are people who serve in integrity in our business. We are people who are trustworthy and who will deliver beyond what you would see for your vision, for your purpose. We are purpose pushers in that way. And so that's one of our favorite things and that we're compassionate about. So we're like, Lord, we are here to do our purpose. I'm not sure why I'm going this way, but that's where we at. But we are here to do our purpose. We are here to serve your people. So in the midst of that, Lord, you know what our needs are. We can't focus on our needs. When we focus on our needs, that's when the thing that we're good at becomes stressful because we're so working so hard on ourselves. We're trying to work ourselves 10 times harder to make up for the difference of things that we need in our lives. But our real provider is God. He is our Jireh. He's our provider. And we have to remember that, like, even with us, like I said, when those things happen with our clients and stuff, we don't talk bad about it. We don't um pressure them in any way, type of form or fashion. We trust God. Now, I'm not saying that those things are not important because that's your, that's your business. You gotta do what you gotta do. But we have to look at it from the spiritual standpoint too. We have to apply it spiritually. Okay, Lord, you know what we need. And what He told us to do for both of us outside of business, He said He will fulfill our needs. And He knows our needs, right? So me getting in front of the mic, I talk about this all the time, is me supplying a need that I didn't know that I was supplying. I'm thinking like, how me getting in front of a camera is going to give me what I need, right? Other than community, because I do need to build community. I need to have a outside of, we both need it. Me and my, I would say, best friend and slash producer and slash business partner. We need community. We need community in all those areas. We need community in our personal lives. We need community when it comes to our business. We need community in general when it comes to our purpose. Like, how are we going to keep each other uplifted without community? And in order to build that and to have so where we can share and have a village moment where we're actually sharing our gifts and our talents and our creativity with one another, is about us getting in the routine of fulfilling our purpose. For us, I feel like if we focus on the finances that we need, if we focus on just just everything else that does not apply to our actual things He told us to do, that's when we get frustrated. That's when the heaviness comes on more. That's when we feel burdened. That's when you deal with fear on another level, and depression, anxiety. And anxiety can physically hurt you and spiritually affect you. So you have to make sure you're addressing these things so you don't get your bills beat before God. Your needs don't be before God. Because when you do that, like I said, you won't be doing your purpose and you'll be focused on the wrong things. If I focus on not becoming, like, I was like, Lord, he told me, he was like, am how am I going to actually do the podcast for full time to the extent that he was telling me to do it without working? I was like, make that math make sense, Lord. But it's not like Chandler say, it's not girls math, it's God math. And I was like, okay, Lord, I need to just do it regardless how I feel, regardless of what I am going through, regardless what we need. Let me just do my purpose. Let me just do it. Simple as that, just do it. And I was like, Lord, I don't really necessarily know how to do that. How do I fulfill my purpose without focusing on the other things and obstacles and situations around me, surrounding me? How do I focus on this without focusing on my environment? Right? So I was asking him this because I know other people have the same question. Right? It's a certain lifestyle that I know he promised me. And I'm like, Lord, I'm going to get it because I don't want to take the short way. I don't want to take the shortcuts in my purpose. I don't want to do that. I want to do it the right way because I do not want to. My fear is getting to a certain place of success or a certain place of just fulfillment in my purpose. And I know if you've really fulfilled, obviously that means you're not going to have these type of issues I'm about to say, but it's a possibility, I guess. That's what I'm thinking of, at least. I'm like, what if I get to all the success in this and I get hit with a situation where it's making me think back to my old way of thinking or focusing on um how you gonna show up for me, how you gonna come through after all the success people have. People do this all the time. They have all the success in the world and they still have problems and they feel like they can't solve them themselves, so they go down this other way when they don't supposed to. Because everything that's going on around us, we have to like become tunnel vision. Tunnel vision. Got to be me and you, God, me and you, God. Even when we get to that place of success, it has to just be me and him. And I'm not even trying to get famous or get to that extent. I don't even want all that. To be honest with you, like I don't care about none of that. But I do know that God is showing, calling me to this platform because UB is a platform. And platforms are meant to have other people to see you on. Like you don't just be standing on nothing without, so you can't see, right? So, or be seen rather. So in me being seen, I'm like, Lord, my goal and my forever goal is for this to be about you. This will never be about Quante. This will never be a podcast that's focused around my life and my life only and blase, blase, blase. Like, it will never be that. I would never want it to be that. So I have to keep myself in a place where, all right, Lord, if that's the case, I know I have to stay in your face. If that's the case, I have to steer away from distractions. If that's the case, I cannot live my life thinking and assuming and being in my head about things that you're not concerned with. If you're not worried about it, why am I worried about it? Right? So I am learning that process. I am learning to let go and let God. I'm gonna pick up my journal because I want to say I read something like that. Yeah, this is what he said. There is so much more for you. You have to just let go. Evaluate on what you're afraid of and why you're allowing it to hold you back. And for certain people, I know I'm just all over the place, but I'm really not because the Lord's speaking to me and through me, and we're gonna leave it at that. Not gonna say that. So for you, that may be the fear of rejection. For some people have fear of success. For some other people, they have the fear of not being enough. What I say is rejection. But yeah, like people have different fears that they face when it comes to that place when you get to a certain point. And in my favorite, one of my favorite songs from my favorite artist album, like y'all, this album is so fire. Like I recommend 1,000 out of 10. He talks about hesitating. When he catch a rhythm, he hesitates. Like, why do we hesitate when we get into that point of success? Why do we hesitate when we get to that place of breakthrough or freedom? Like, what's the hesitation? And he talks about being insecure and different things like that. Like, Those things really do make a difference on if we're going to say yes to God fully. That those things really make a difference if we're going to commit to what he called us to be. Like, we just going to have to just, I don't know how to we're just gonna have to take his yes, take the yes, and just go, like, run, go for it. He wants us to just keep running, don't look back. What else did he say? I'll address other things later because it's attached to something else that I actually need to really, really go in depth with. So we'll talk about that later. But yeah, I just wanted to say all those things that the Lord put on my heart concerning us just letting go and trusting him and being led, and let his light lead us in the darkness. Let his light lead us while we're on a different path that we're unfamiliar. We're unfamiliar with the path. We can only see what our faith puts us, let our eyes see. Not the things that you're actually seeing, but what your faith is seeing is over here, but it's still a path. And you don't know where the path is going, so that's why you need the light even more in those moments like that. So let God lead you. Let your faith be high. And when you feel like it's not high, let him, just trust him and let him be there for you in your unbelief. And keep your eyes on the goal. Keep that vision in front of you. Make a vision board. You can make 10,000 vision boards for the year. That it doesn't matter if you didn't do the first one the right way, or however, whoever wasn't a part of it. You still do what God showed you to do, regardless of the fact. Who's in, who's out. You have to stick to the goal. Keep your eye on the prize. But yeah, that's all I want to talk about today. You already know the motto: become lit, stay lit, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.